Hello, welcome to this full moon in Pisces and eclipse talk. My name is Chloe. I am back with another full moon video. Last month's video was very well received, so I am taking that feedback on in that people are very interested in the full moons, which is fair. It's a very intense time of the month, and I think especially with the lunar eclipse happening as well, that there's even more interest. So I'm just here to provide you with a little bit of guidance and support on this lunation. Um, when we look at the ruler of the full moon, we can always get like a little bit of additional insight on the flavor of the lunation. So, a Pisces full moon, obviously, Pisces is associated with Neptune. So, if we look at Neptune on the full moon chart, it's actually in a conjunction with the moon. So, this is like a very Neptunian Pisces full moon, a very Piscean Pisces full moon. So, even more deeply intense and deeply feeling, deeply emotional compared to other full moons, which, of course, the water moons are always intense, but Pisces, especially with the ruler, with Pisces ruler Neptune being in the exact same location as the moon for this full moon. So the moon in Pisces at 25 degrees, Neptune is at 28 degrees, and they're both on top of my natal natal lunar placement, Pisces moon at 29 degrees. So definitely feeling it. There's some interesting aspects in the full moon chart that I definitely want to go over before I dive into the rising sign horoscopes. But anytime we have a full moon, of course, it's always opposite the sun. So we have this axis being illuminated, or these, polarities coming into consciousness, the sun, the solar energy, shining the light, bringing to consciousness the moon, the mystery, the unknown, the subconscious. So you always have that polarity play with a full moon. But with the axis of Virgo and Pisces, we think about how those signs inform each other, how they're sister signs, how they're different, what they have in common. But Virgo, of course, is the healer, and Pisces very much surrendering to the flow, surrendering to divine. So you can't have the healing of Virgo without like the surrender of Pisces. So they very much, inform each other for sure. Um, in addition to the Moon and Neptune conjunction in Pisces, which of course is opposing the Sun, we also have Saturn in Pisces still. It's about halfway through, 15 degrees now. So that's been going on for a while. It will continue to be in this sign for a while. And that Saturn is opposing Mercury right now, which is at 14 degrees Virgo. So the it's an interesting opposition for sure, because we don't just have the sun and the moon in opposition, but Saturn and Mercury. Saturn and Pisces obviously bringing that form to formlessness, and Mercury at home in Virgo there. There's a lot of planets in Libra already. There is a conjunction with the South Node and Lilith, which is tricky. So you have like, stuff with more taboo feminine topics, or like darker feminine energy, like divine feminine rage. Feminine rage is, of course, divine. In opposition to the South Node there. And then we have Venus in Libra. Opposing Chiron in Aries. So to me, those two oppositions read fairly similar. The self versus the other, wounded feminine asking for healing. A lot is coming to light, especially since Mars has entered Cancer. Very disturbing, news stories about the feminine experience, and it's not Mars in Cancer that's making this happen. The planetary cycles, of course, are just a reflection of our own cycles. But when these terrifying stories come to light, come to consciousness, we have a better understanding of, what's really going on below the surface and the things that we just don't talk about. So these difficult or horrific, it's a spectrum, right? These experiences that that women live, that women go through, these are not new experiences. It's just new that we're like talking about it, and that they're on the news. So very uncomfortable for this stuff to come to light, but it's long overdue that it gets discussed, right? So feminine rage, opportunities for healing, that reconciliation between masculine and feminine, and like the self and the other, a lot of compassion in our own personal relationships and on a collective level. That's going to really support us. And yeah, just looking for that like highest level, highest integrity of love and compassion and spirituality. With full moons, of course, it's always a release. It's that peak energy, potential manifestations from the new moon in Pisces 6 months ago. They may have come to fruition. Otherwise, we're pivoting, we're reconsidering, we're moving on. That fruit may be ready to be picked, or the fruit may have may already be going rotten. So it's time to move on to the next cycle there. There is a grand Earth trine as well. So just, yeah, a couple more points on the aspects we're encountering with this lunation. We have the grand Earth trine Pluto at the end of Capricorn, 29 degrees, in a trine with Uranus in Taurus at 27 degrees. And and Venus in, sorry. Let me get my life in order here. The sun in Virgo. The sun in Virgo at 25 degrees in a trine with Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees, and and Uranus and Taurus at 27 degrees. So again, we have like the solar energy, bringing to conscious, bringing to light, the power of Pluto and the unpredictability of Uranus. So I can expect we can expect the unexpected when it comes to this grand Earth trine, and that it's Earth signs involved in this aspect really makes me think about how it's something like in the mundane, in the 3D, something like really, in that practical realm, and unexpected power plays exposed, brought to light by the sun, by the solar energy and the consciousness, shining the light on the power dynamics, on power plays, in unexpected ways. So some sort of like, exposure of something that I mean, we all know there's like, abuses of power and different like power dynamics and that sort of thing, but this is something expected coming to light. So that could be, yeah, it's going to be intense, but it could be exciting because again, like these things are going on under the surface. It doesn't mean that they're okay, but when they're brought to light, when they're brought to the conscious, then we're able to, actually process them as a collective. So it's not what we want to hear, but it's what we're going to be invited to interact with organically on that higher frequency if we can. So let's move into the rising sign horoscopes. Let me just take a look here at the full moon chart. If there's anything else I wanted to go over, the Libra Aries oppositions, the grand Earth trine. Yeah, the Pisces and Virgo oppositions as well. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably all I want to say about the full moon chart. When the moon is full at 7:30 Pacific time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time on September 17th, the sign on the horizon will be Aries. So the full moon chart does have like an Aries rising. Which is a natural chart, of course. So that means that the placements, the planets in Aries fall into the first house. The placements, the planets in Taurus fall into the second house. So every sign is completely in alignment with their corresponding house. So that just really underscores what we've talked about, like the planets that are in Pisces, the 12th sign, are going to be in the 12th house, which is associated with Pisces. So that just makes it bolder, underscored, extra, even more extra. And then like it's an eclipse as well too, right? So with the eclipse, you have some things are speeding up, some things are slowing down. Like it is a portal to collapse timelines, to jump timelines, absolutely. But it is often unpredictable. And we can see that as well with this with this Pluto Uranus Sun Earth trine too. And eclipses are very, very Plutonian with like being so transformative potentially. So yeah, just around like you're setting intentions. I would try not to be too specific. It is very much this like, life, the universe is going to, present you with whatever it is you are invited to heal, release, interact with, and to, just approach that with, with an open heart, with an open mind, with curiosity, having compassion for yourself, and trying your best to engage with what is coming up for you, and it's likely to be emotional, likely to be spiritual, and like that power play thing as well too is really really evident here. So yeah, let's take a look at the rising sign forecast for you next. Okay. I just had to grab my tarot cards. So we're going to be working today with the Pulp Girls Tarot deck, which is like a super cute, almost like comic book style tarot deck. This one is by the Pulp Girls. That is what they're called. And yeah, to be honest, it is like a kind of a Libra deck for me. We still have a few more days, a few more days of Virgo season, and this is like the Virgo season full moon being in Pisces. But yeah, I use my deck seasonally, and I just couldn't wait to get into the Pulp Girls. So I've been using this a lot this last week for my for my own readings and readings for others. This is what the backs look like. So again, super, super cute. Um, okay, so yeah, let's get into the rising signs here. So I'm going to start with a full moon forecast for Aries. If you're in Aries rising, this might resonate for you. So as always, Aries rising, you have a natural chart. So anytime there is a lunation, the moon in Pisces in this case is going to fall in its home house. So the Pisces full moon for you, Aries rising, is going to be in the 12th house. And the card that I have is the King of Cups. So I feel like that's super fitting for you because it's all about like emotional intelligence and emotional regulation and like being confident in your intuition, owning your intuition, but also staying regulated to the best of your ability. So it makes sense because of Neptune and the moon in conjunction there, right in your 12th house, and Saturn, the planet of consequences and form. So you're going to be feeling this as deep as anyone. So just understanding like, okay, I am activated, my emotions are heightened right now. What tools do I have when it comes to regulation, and like very much compassion is a big part of it too. Like Pisces 12th house, that's all associated with compassion. So definitely being for forgiveness, compassion, applying those feelings like you would for someone else, but to yourself as well, right? Let me see if there's anything else. Right. So sound healing, of course, that's going to be the 12th house as well. So if you feel called to listen to music, meditation, vocal toning, sound bowls, anything in the realm of sound healing, that's potentially going to be supportive for you as well. But I do expect it to be, yeah, a rather intense lunation for you. So just want to like, hold some space for that. And this, yeah, this emotional intelligence piece comes with the invitation of self-compassion, of course. Okay, so let's move on to Taurus. Taurus rising. If your rising sign, if your ascendant is in Taurus, this message is going to be for you. So the full moon is activating your 11th house, the house of the collective. And for you, the tarot card I have is the Ten of Wands, which is a great message. So this is all about, taking on too much, taking on burdens from others. So like the 11th house being the collective totally makes sense. So yeah, you might feel like you need to be, be to keep it really simple, like being everything to everyone, right? So what sticks can you put down? What wands are not yours to carry? We can't save everyone. We can't change everything. So really thinking about, being the best version of yourself and like how that's going to be supportive to your family, to your community, but like what burdens can you put down? Because it looks like you could be yeah, feeling rather overwhelmed from this full moon. Overwhelmed overwhelmed in the realm of community. So yeah, this is very much like is symbolic of you, carrying burdens for others. So, when our cup isn't full, when we need to rest, when we need to engage in self-care, we're not, the best community member anyways, right? So this very much shows needing to, or an invitation to embrace the intensity and, yeah, put down some of those obligations when it comes to, what you're doing in your community at this point. And that's the greater community, the collective. So let's move on to Gemini. Gemini rising. This message is for you if you have a Gemini rising, a Gemini ascendant in your natal chart, on your birth chart. If you're Gemini rising, this message is for you. So the Pisces full moon and eclipse is going to be in your 10th house of legacy and life's work. No big deal. So yeah, a release in that regard is, always a good idea to, to assess where we're working too hard and where we want to be able to yeah, maybe let things go again, putting down some of those wands. For you, I have the Chariot, which is all about, honoring um, how you've gotten yourself here, like where you are right now, and how proud you can be of your achievements, everything that's gotten to this point, and how, the old ways aren't working, aren't serving you any longer. So you're able to, graduate to move on from the vehicle, the vessel that has gotten you to this point, and consider, yeah, new ways of being that are going to be more, more suitable for where you're going for like your next leg of the journey or your next, yeah, your next chapter. So I hope this is affirming because, yeah, 10th house transits can be hard. And again, like thinking about the invitation for compassion, for forgiveness for yourself, like that goes for everyone, but really seeing like, okay, what's not working in my career? What's not working when it comes to my life's work, and understanding that we can honor how far we've come and be proud of how far we've come and still have the desire to begin traveling in, in a new direction, right? Like it's never too late. And yeah, there's also an option to like, to grieve what once was, what used to work, or, grieve what never will be as well too. But this is definitely your permission slip to move in a new direction when it comes to yeah, when it comes to legacy and career, and understanding that yeah, we can leave the vehicle that got us here behind now, while still, honoring how amazing of a vehicle it has been for us. Okay, so that is a Gemini rising. Let's move on. Hey, let's move along. Moving through the wheel. Love this. Love this new format. Let me know what you think. Um, Cancer rising. You are up next. If you have a Cancer rising, Cancer ascendant on your birth chart, this message is for you. So the Pisces full moon is going to be um, activating your ninth house. So this relates to philosophy, long distance travel, spirituality. Those types of themes are what's coming up for you at the full moon. So we have the 10 of Cups, another 10. So it's really interesting how we're seeing, yeah, seeing endings and yeah, just things coming to completion, things coming to fruition. It's yeah, what a relief, when the when the cards line up with the yeah, with the lunar energy. So yeah, just thinking about, for you, Cancer rising, your ninth house activation, what the 10 of Cups will mean for you. This is all about well, it's the happy family rainbow card, right? So this is going to be finding peace with what is, being grateful for what is. The cool thing about this one is like you're not being invited into any like major changes or like different like projects or like lifestyle adjustments. It's very much like contentment and love and happiness where you are now. And that's going to be, yeah, of course, in the realm of family, which is indicated in the card, blood family, chosen family, that kind of thing. And your spiritual practice as well, too. So just resting in the contentment, not being called into any major changes, but just really, yeah, inviting in that gratitude. So, um, the ninth house is associated with Jupiter. So just, yeah, like thinking about those like rich feelings of like abundance and satisfaction and yeah, very much just like savoring the moment of the full moon. You are a Cancer rising, so you are, deeply intuitive, in tune with like the cycles. So the moon is going to be intense. I'm not saying it's not going to be, but for you, it could be more so like overwhelming feelings of love and gratitude. So if it is, intense, just call in that compassion, I would say, is something that might support you there. Okay, so Leo risings. Yes, that's my rising sign. So this horoscope is for me. Let's see how it goes. If you yeah, if you have a Leo rising in your birth chart, if you are Leo ascendant, this is a message for you. The full moon eclipse, the Pisces full moon is going to be in our eighth house of death and rebirth. And transformation. So it's a lovely place to have an eclipse. It's a lovely place to have a full moon, because it's like releasing in the house of releasing, right? So because the energy is like so similar and so compatible, that might just make it feel even more intense. Okay, so yeah, just seeing what is in the cards here. Very nice. Okay, we're getting a lot of endings, and now we have like a beginning or like the full potential of the element of fire as reflected in the yeah, the Ace of Wands here. Beautiful card. Love this. Um, so this is going to be for us, reevaluating desires, what we really want in life, what motivates us. Very, very interesting given that it's the eighth house, but it's like right at the end of Pisces. What was it? 25 degrees, 26 degrees, 25 degrees. Yeah. So just a few degrees there from the end of the sign. So it's like we can already feel Because Pisces is, of course, like the last sign of the 12 signs in the zodiac. We can already feel that, like, that new energy coming in, that rebirth is coming. So I don't know, I really like this. This is cool because you think about like death of the eighth house, and endings of the 12th house, and of Pisces, but we also have like new cycles are beginning before the last cycle fully completes. So we can already feel that, like, that Aries, that first house energy coming in for us, which is really cool. So yeah, as much as we're meant to interact with the eclipse organically and not set any specific intentions, it'll be interesting to see what sort of inspiration for new projects, new ideas, new ways of being that are more in alignment, what might come up for us at the eclipse, considering it's all about endings, and we have this this card of new beginnings, and like trusting our desire, and following our heart, and really feeling motivated and activated. So yeah, interesting, very interesting blend of energies there for us Leo rising. So we'll see what comes up or comes through with that. So let's move on now. So next we have Virgo rising. This message is for you if you have a Virgo ascendant, if Virgo is your rising sign on your birth chart. So with the Pisces full moon eclipse, we have the moon activating your seventh house of partnership, seventh house of the other. The seventh house is associated with Libra and Libra-like things in modern astrology. Let's see here what we've got. Okay, Virgo, Six of Wands. Beautiful. Okay, so this one is about, celebrating what you have in relationships. It could be a relationship to yourself, very much like being grateful for what we have in terms of friendships, business partners, colleagues, anything like relational. Feeling that support from others around us, our lover, our partner, our husband, our wife, those type of connections, feeling like really feeling really grateful within those connections, the love that we have. And if it's possible, if it's practical, if it's possible for you to honor and celebrate some of your primary relationships with this full moon, that would be a good intention for you. As always, with the eclipse, we don't want to like set super specific super specific intentions. This is just, giving you an idea of the flavor of what might be on your heart, what might be on your mind with the full moon, and that it is, it is going to be relationships with with the flavor of celebration. So I would say, like a nice dinner out, or like if you want to prepare a dinner for your partner, something like that. Really just experiencing the joy, savoring the joy that you have. And it doesn't have to be like, yeah, if you're not partnered and this is like triggering for you, fair enough. This could be also also like a best friend, or a sister, or a brother, or even an animal companion. So just, yeah, honoring those who support you, honoring who you feel supported by, sending them love and gratitude. And if it's practical, if it makes sense for you, to celebrate a relationships, or the relationships that you have in your life. Okay. So next we have Libra rising. You're up next. So this is messages for you if you have a Libra ascendant, if Libra is your rising sign in your birth chart. Let's see what is in the cards for you on this this Pisces full moon eclipse. Okay, so I have the Ten of Cups. So this is the second time that this card has come up during this forecast video. So the 10 of Cups is a Pisces card. It has a lot to do with endings. It has a lot to do with emotional intelligence, compassion, love, connection with the divine, connection with others. So it is really a beautiful card to have. And I'm thinking too about for you, Libra rising, like we have all of those planets in Libra right now. There's a lot going on in your chart. Um, the South Node, of course, in a conjunction with Black Moon Lilith, that would be, yeah, opposing um the South Node, of course, in Aries, and then you've got like the Chiron in Aries, which is opposing Venus in Libra. Venus is at home in Libra. That is your home planet. Venus is a ruler for Libra and for Taurus, so very much, at home there. Um yeah, and then we have vertex and part of fortune as well in the full moon chart for you. So a lot of energy um in your first house right now. So to me, this definitely indicates a feeling of overwhelm or intense emotions coming up, which of course it's a Pisces full moon, it's an eclipse, like yeah, obviously, it's going to be intense, but you are receiving a lot of activations in your natal chart right now through the solar and lunar energy, and under other energies as well too, like especially as the Virgo sun is so late degree Virgo, it's like almost in Libra, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, for you it is like it is the sixth house that is activated when we have the Pisces full moon. So that does, speak to like health and wellness and routine and ritual. So very much compassion and gratitude comes up for me with this card for you. So, yeah, I give you permission to, let go of those things. If it is too much, if the feelings are too intense, of course, like routine serves us, wellness serves us, having those practices in place is something, that does truly support us. I mean, as long as it's, as long as those practices are in alignment for you. But yeah, just expecting a lot of emotional intensity coming up. Like, is my house clean enough? Am I spiritual enough? Am I good enough? Like, do I go to the gym enough? Like, is it really working? So, yeah, just an invitation into like compassion for yourself, and forgiveness as well. We may have like gone a bit hard on the intention settings in Virgo season, knowing that it is this like whole like real like New Year's energy of like back to school vibes and like I'm gonna change my life and like doing all the things at once isn't necessarily sustainable. So yeah, just calling you in to have some compassion for yourself, Libra rising. That it is going to be potentially an intense moon for you. So, as always, don't set specific intentions because of the eclipse. Just see what comes up in your life, interact with that at the highest level of integrity that is authentic for you, right? And just trust and have that compassion and that gratitude. And it could be really mundane, everyday things that are activating you or triggering you. So just to like be curious, have an open heart, have an open mind, just observe them. And yeah, just trust that what the universe is presenting for you is what you're being invited to yeah, to interact with at your highest level of integrity, while always having compassion and forgiveness for yourself too, right? Okay, so let's move on. So next we have Scorpio rising. This message is for you, Scorpio rising. If you have a Scorpio ascendant in your birth chart, if your natal chart shows Scorpio ascendant, this is going to be a message for you for the Pisces full moon and eclipse. Let's see what's in the cards. Scorpio rising. Yeah, I've decided just to use like one deck, one deck for this video, so I'm not pulling a bunch of different cards. I think it's yeah more efficient that way, and that way I don't get like lost in the weeds or whatever the expression is. so many tens and so many aces. This like, I don't know, this really speaks to like the full moon being ending and the eclipse being that like that portal of potentially timelines collapsing, jumping timelines, moving timelines, and how we have yeah, endings and beginnings all happening at the same time, like the tens being the endings and the aces being the beginning, right? Okay. So for you, Scorpio rising, it'll be your fifth house that is activated at the full moon. So those are some themes that might, yeah, might be prominent for you as you interact with yeah, with the lunar energy. Um, yeah, it's like a bit of a different direction I'm gonna go with this one compared to like some of the other signs that I've been reading for. There is a lot with this card that's like about new relationships. And I mean it's not fair to like be so specific with the interpretations of the cards because there can be like a lot of things included in the Ace of Cups. But I mean, it is new beginnings and it is, you know, the suit of relationships. So I want to put that out there because for you, it's the fifth house that is activated. So I think that potentially for some of you, a new relationship could be in the cards, just like as I synthesize the card and like the house that's activated. Fifth house is about having fun and you know, and dating and like inner child work and stuff like that. So this could even be like indicative of like a pregnancy. Dare I make that prediction? No, no, I would not. I would never say anything like that. But I mean, it is technically included you know, in the it's in the realm of possibility for sure. So new relationship, you know, new level of inner child healing, new level of relationship with your inner child. It could be and then yeah, it could be like literally like a new child as well too. So that's interesting to think about, you know, who's going to tune in and watch this. And have a Scorpio rising and like actually, you know, actually resonate with that kind of message too. So it doesn't always have to be like a brand new relationship either. It can be like a new chapter, you know, like with your teenage daughter or yeah, a new chapter with your own inner child. So it's yeah, it's interesting to think about, but yeah, just like the house and the card and what they have in common. Like, I don't know, I gotta say it. I gotta say it, right? That's what comes through for me, for you, Scorpio rising. And yeah, not to suggest that everyone, of course, is going to get pregnant or have a new relationship, but yeah, a new chapter or a new level in, you know, in a current relationship as well as possible. And yeah, especially when it comes to yeah, our relationship with our children, with children, inner child, all of that type of thing, right? Okay, so yeah, we're just over halfway through. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know if you like the new format, full moon forecast, and then some yeah, some rising sign horoscopes. I'm just going to yeah, just let it flow today. Just do the one, you know, the one video for you. I have so many like six house placements and like I always like to like compartmentalize and it's like this isn't but you know it's really I mean it should just be one video, right? Okay, so who's next? Who is next? Sagittarius. Sagittarius rising. Thank you for coming. Okay, amazing. So if you have a Sagittarius ascendant in your birth chart, if you have a Sagittarius rising in your natal chart, this message is going to be for you. And on this Pisces full moon, we see an activation. The lunar eclipse is going to be in your fourth house. Okay, so very Uranian energy coming up for you, Sagittarius rising. So let me see here. Just gonna pull up the full moon chart quickly. Yeah, it's interesting, like so many of like the starting cards, the new beginnings and the endings that coming to fruition. Like it's just this the eclipse energy is just, I mean, this perfectly speaks to it, right? Like beginnings and endings all at the same time. So Sagittarius rising, I mean, fourth house is going to be speaking to your private life, speaking to your home life, um, what you do behind closed doors, that type of thing. And this is inviting you, the Fool is inviting you to have have a beginner's mind in that realm. So it's really interesting when we think about how we would synthesize that information, right? So what comes up for me when I tune into your chart, Sagittarius rising for the full moon, and yeah, and think about the Fool card is very much like still embracing the Virgo season energies, right? Like, yeah, we know Libra's coming in. We know that like we have this full moon eclipse and then like the new moon in Libra, and like it's, I don't know, it's all like spiraling pretty quick here. But for you, I would say definitely feel into the Virgo energy of the sun season we're actually in. Let that linger a little longer and see if there's anything else that comes up for you um in the Virgo realm, which of course is like implementing like better habits, healthier routines, releasing aspects of our routine that are outdated, that no longer serve us. Um, of course, being careful that it is eclipse, so we don't want to like try too hard in specific ways and like overpromise. But I do feel like there are maybe one or two more things that are asking for your attention, Sagittarius rising, like since the Virgo new moon that we had 2 weeks ago that maybe you haven't been addressing yet. And just yeah, being open to that you hadn't thought of everything, and or if there's you haven't thought of something and there's still still some like adjustments that want to be made when it comes to the Virgo realm, which is routine, and like it can be wellness and health too. So if you did, like start new like if you did just like start physiotherapy and like you haven't been back, thinking about like, okay, do I want to book a new appointment? Do I need to see my chiropractor again? Like things that are going to take you out of the home but make you more comfortable when you are at home, right? So that like that balance of like the professional practitioner and how they support me, and then like how I'm able to function in my own home or in my private life, like that kind of thing. And yeah, the Fool is all about, in this case, like something you haven't thought of. Or if it has occurred to you that maybe you didn't necessarily take action on it because you weren't sure how, or weren't sure if it was the right time. But yeah, for you, very much still in the Virgo season energy is what I'm getting for you, Sagittarius rising. So don't worry about moving forward into the Libra energies quite yet, or even thinking too much about the Pisces full moon, because there's still new moon, Virgo new moon things things that might be asking for your attention. All right. So, good. It's good. Let's leave it there. Okay, we got a few more signs to go. We're up to Capricorn. Capricorn rising, this message is for you. Do you have a Capricorn ascendant in your natal chart, in your birth chart? Do you have Capricorn rising? If so, this message might be for you. Let me pull a card and see what comes up. The full moon eclipse is going to be in your third house of communication and local environment. Okay, 10 of Wands again. So this is the fourth time we've pulled the 10. And the second time we pulled the ten of Wands. Okay. So again, this relates to, overgiving and burdens that are not yours to carry. So we had this for Taurus rising, and it was their 11th house, which was activated, which is really interesting because 11th house is going to be like the collective community, like the world. And then third house is very much like your local community, your neighborhood. So this is about like putting down some of the wands, some of the burdens that are not yours to carry, and that's in service to your local environment. So basically like your neighborhood, your community. Do you need to resign from the strata? That type of example, right? So just yeah, thinking about what you're doing locally and what's not your problems to fix, what's not your problems to solve, where you can maybe do some delegations or let some responsibilities go. Obviously as a Capricorn rising, you have a lot of integrity. You have like a strong work ethic. So yeah, we do find those of us who have prominent Capricorn placements, myself included. I have like 5 planets in Capricorn. We do find that yeah, we take on a lot for others, and we do a lot for others. So this is just yeah, and if you have decreased on workload or decreased responsibilities lately, just thinking about the Pisces full moon, there could be, yeah, that invitation for you to have some forgiveness and compassion for yourself if you unintentionally have dropped have dropped some balls lately, if you've unintentionally dropped some of those wands, some of those batons. Okay. Aquarius rising, you're up next. If you have Aquarius ascendant, Aquarius rising in your birth chart, this message is for you. We're going to see what's in the cards. Keeping in mind the full moon in Pisces will be activating your second house, which relates to your foundation and your stability, your values as well, Aquarius rising. That's what's coming up for you. Oh, another ace. Okay, so this is the third ace that we've pulled. Um, yeah, you just can't make this up. Wow. Okay. So feeling the Libra energy coming in strong with this one, and that shadow of, diplomacy and people pleasing and like not wanting to rock the boat and like making sure everyone is harmonious. So this is like an invitation to potentially put yourself first and think about like, what about me? What about the harmony that I want to be experiencing, right? Like when we're people pleasing, what about ourselves? We're a person, right? Why not please us? There is a part of this card that's like speaking truth to power, so don't necessarily want to get like too much into this at this point, depending on where your rising sign is, like what degree, if it's close to the end of Capricorn, and Pluto being at 29 degrees Capricorn. So you have like if you have like an early degree Aquarius rising, this might be, you're getting caught in like that whole like, unexpected like power dynamics and unexpected power plays being brought to the consciousness by the grand Earth trine that we have with the sun, with Pluto, with Uranus on this full moon. So yeah, like this is going to be about, standing up for yourself, but thinking about like, yeah, doing that, I guess, in a diplomatic way, because when we do put ourselves first, as long as it's in integrity, that does like in theory, serve our community, serve our family, serve our family, serve our friends, like, all the people we want to take care of too, and making sure that Yeah, that cup is full. This could also be yeah, new ideas coming in for you around like how you want to support yourself in terms of like what your foundation is, what your values are. There could be some, divine inspiration. Libra being very much, connected to the connected to the Libra is connected by a channel to the divine. And we're just, yeah, just a few days out from that now. So, yeah, Aquarius rising. I feel like standing up for yourself, that is a big invitation right now. And, considering not making huge changes, but considering implementing some ideas and like just like, thinking about other ways of being that are going to prioritize your own yeah, your own inner harmony and your own yeah, ability just to like live within your values and yeah, apply your values to your everyday life if there's new potential or new opportunity for that. Okay, so we've got one more to go. Pisces rising. How are you? Do we have any Pisces risings watching? So a lot going on in your first house with this full moon eclipse, right? There's Saturn at 15 degrees Pisces, and then of course we have the moon at 25 and Neptune at 28 degrees Pisces. And this is all in your first house of self. So yeah, the interesting thing with Pisces rising is of course the rising sign is the first house, which is associated with Aries, the first sign, the beginning, and then you have Pisces which corresponds to the 12th house, which is like the endings. So people who have that like Pisces and Aries dynamic, I mean, definitely love them. And I think it really speaks to the cards we've been pulling today too. Like all these tens endings and all these aces beginning. Like it's just yeah, it's a lot, but I mean that's what an eclipse is. Like new beginnings starting before the last cycle has ended and all that yeah, I don't even want to say opportunity, but just yeah, potential for having new timelines that pop up and old timelines to just like completely dissolve. Um okay, so Pisces rising, this message is for you. See what's in the cards. Okay, okay, beautiful. So for you, Pisces rising, we do have the Queen of Cups. Um, this is technically like a Cancerian card, with all the like emotional labor and strong intuition and emotional intelligence that comes with this card. But I mean, you can certainly say as like a water sign, water element that this would apply for you as well. Um, Let me just take a minute because I'm getting a similar message to the last sign, which was Aquarius rising, and just about how like, more opportunities to like stand up for yourself and stuff like that. So let me just, I mean, it makes sense there's going to be messages in common because we certainly had cards in common. But I just want to feel like a little bit deeper into that for you. Yeah, so it does feel like, yeah, similar to Aquarius rising, it's like living in alignment with your values, standing up for yourself, having that like internal harmony, and then like again with Saturn being there, this opportunity to like bring formlessness to form and bring in that like security and foundation that you're craving that comes to living in alignment with the values. Um, so this card does speak, of course, to like emotional labor and emotional intelligence as well, too. So for you specifically, Pisces rising, I would say that it could be yeah, could be relational too, like, standing up for yourself in relationships, in one-on-one situations, having that solid internal foundation in alignment with your values, in alignment with your truth. Um, tapping into that first, and then like she's definitely got like the full cup. That is a big part of this message too, so making sure you've got like your own emotional nature, emotional world is very much taken care of before you're taking care of others. Like don your own mask first, as they say on the airplane, right? You got to put on your own mask first before you can mask your child or whoever you're a caregiver for. But yeah, this is like major caregiver vibes. So being that Pisces is like so boundaryless and so porous, like a sponge, like soaking up everyone's like emotions and everyone's like vibes all the time, like thinking about how you could be right with yourself and how you could fortify your own boundaries and your own sense of security in that like emotional realm, and then you'll be better served to provide the emotional labor that people in your life require of you, right? That maintenance that comes in relationships. Okay, so there we have it. Rising sign horoscopes for the Pisces full moon eclipse, September 17th, 2024. So let me know if it resonates. I invite you to share if you have any comments or feedback. If you want to let me know like how it played out for you and what your sign is, that's really cool too, because it's always nice to see how the predictions land. We need to keep them like so general and vague in a way when you're reading for so many people in the collective. But yeah, it was really cool to see how there were so many like endings and beginnings, which is very much this moving from mutable Virgo Pisces into cardinal Libra, and Aries will be the next full moon, and like the eclipse with like the timeline collapse and stuff like that too. So I'm curious to know your thoughts. And yeah, if you like a full moon video, let me know, and then I will consider making more of them in the future. But for now, that's all I got. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Happy full moon, happy eclipse, and I will see you soon. Bye.